Hey there, welcome to the Game Artist Podcast. My name is Ryan Kingsline. I am the founder of the Game Art Institute, where we train artists for the career of their lives. In this podcast, we interview amazing game artists to see what makes them tick and see how they got where they are today. So sit back, relax. I look forward to sharing their journey with you. All right, so thank you guys for joining. I have Julia here with me, Julia Lee, Julia Dream at ArtStation. I got to turn those entry and exit chimes that go to meeting puts in there. Those are annoying. Those are off now, thankfully. Okay, Julia, let's start with where you are now. What do you do now for work?
Right now, I'm hustle facilities at Bungie. I'm mainly do like hustle stuff like weapons, vehicles, sparrows, if you play Destiny, like all the hustle stuff.
Okay, all right. And so how long have you been there?
I haven't been at Bungie for a long time, like over 8 months.
Okay, great.
Yes.
What were you doing before the job at Bungie?
Oh, I was also a hustle artist at a company called the CCP Games. If you heard about that, that's the game that's the company that make EVE Online.
Okay.
Yeah, I was working there as a hustle artist. So I did like all the hustle characters, vehicles, weapons.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, are you contract at Bungie?
Yes. And right now it is.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means just like it's different from full time.
Okay.
I didn't know about that before either because I come from Shanghai, China.
Yeah.
And in the industry in China, we don't have contract role.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hiring law is very different there. I remember when I was training in electronic arts a long time ago, and they were telling me about how after Chinese New Year, almost everybody leaves the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a good starting point for sure.
Yeah.
Because Bungie is my first on-site job in the US. So it's a good starting point for me.
That's a very good starting point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what do you think attracted Bungie to your work? Did they tell you, like, what was it about your work that really got them motivated?
Oh, okay. So it's mainly about my hard service works.
Yes.
It's about my weapons. Because before Bungie, when I first came here to the US, I worked as a freelancer with a company that in San Francisco, I did, weapons. And so I have enough, like a weapon works to show. Yeah. And to Bungie. That's and also I have they think I have a good art background because I have some like traditional paintings, so I can understand art, better. That's what I think. Like, why maybe that's why they hired me.
Right. That's awesome. Okay, so is there a particular image on ArtStation that you think really worked in your favor? Is there one that represents that?
Maybe that's my recent one, the art gun.
Down here?
The first one.
This one.
The first one, the first one on the left.
This one.
Maybe the arc gun, the district gun.
I'm dyslexic as hell, so you say left, I go right.
I see. Sorry.
All right, so it's either the ion pistol or you're talking about District 9 arc gun. I think you said District 9.
Yeah, yes. This is my recent personal piece.
Yeah. And this is the kind of style that they really look for at Bungie.
Oh, yes. Bungie loves sci-fi weapons.
Okay. And are you working on site or do you work remotely?
I'm working on site.
Okay, great. Did they bring you here immigration-wise and handle all of that stuff, or were you already here?
Oh, I'm already here. So
awesome.
I don't have to go through all these, troubles.
Yeah. That's all very painful. Yeah. It happens, but it's a process.
Yes.
Okay, so I tell you what, I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and then before I do that, though, I want to open this up to everybody who's here. Anybody here can post a link to one work, just one, guys, and I want you guys who are watching, post one link to a work that you would love Julia to review. Please, only one. That's going to force you guys to think it through and be clear about how you want to put your best foot forward. So, Julie, I want to kind of unpack what makes you successful at your job a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If we're looking at this District 9 arc gun,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think is really powerful about this and that you think really works? What is it that's important for you to do in this work?
Well, it's game industry was supposed to make game assets, but also it's not enough that you can only show game assets. That you have to show everything you have, like you how to make your image look like great, and the including like rendering and graphic, and also like camera views. All these things combined together that makes your piece look great. That
Got it.
And probably like the companies look into that. They know that you have a good eye of art. You have a good eye. So, and also they look into your models, and it's also great. That's what makes them want to hire you.
Okay, so not just a 3D model, you got to render it.
Oh, yes, you're not just the 3D models.
Okay, and then on top of that, throw graphics in, like you've got this 830 and you've got this arc gun.
Yes, it's just my personal like graphic design. Just want to make the whole piece look better.
Yes, I understand. And so that's a very important part of it. Now, what else about the model itself? Like, what is really important, specifically to Bungie, let's say, because, that's where you're at now. So what are they looking for? Like, are they looking for things with a lot of like strong diagonals? Talk to me about the design and what makes this piece successful.
I think, firstly, of course, you have to got like the right proportion, like from the concept, right?
Yes.
Like you have to get it right, really correctly. And also you have to get enough details, which means not only like screws, like seams, like something like that. But if you look at a part, like a piece that is supposed to be like a plastic, then you're not supposed to model it, make it look like hard metal. If it's supposed to be metal, then you shouldn't model it like too soft or too hard, like just to get an accurate feeling.
Right. Right. So thinking about the material while you're doing 3D modeling, not just when you're throwing material on there. So that means that means that they're definitely looking at surface, and in the 3D model they want a sense of round versus hard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What about the modeling? How important is good topology? Do they look at wireframes? Is any of that important?
Well, each game is different. Each project has its own budget. Of course, you have to reach the budget first, right?
Right.
Also, you reach the budget and then make it as high poly as possible you can within the budget.
As high polygon.
It's just make it look high as possible as you can, but it's also within the budget.
Yes, got it.
And also, and also you like make it look the best in different camera views, first person and third person. Like for first person, you make some the assets that are close to the camera view that it make it higher, make it like high poly, but on the third person, you just make all the top, no match like look even.
Okay, I understand that. And okay, so in that sense, how many polygons? What's your budget? What budget are you getting?
Budget it's high enough for Bungie, for Destiny. It's high enough.
Can you say how many? What's a general acceptable range in terms of the low res for a company like Bungie or some of the other contracts that you may have done?
Well, I cannot tell you exactly what budget is for Destiny, but it's high enough. It's really high. It's over like it's pretty high enough.
Okay, fair enough. So can you take me back to? I want to see if I can tackle the topology question, but I understand NDAs and not talking too much about that stuff. Let me ask it a different way. So we'll leave that one. Let's talk about the high res. In terms of when you're building the high res, how many polygons might the high res be?
Oh,
And I don't mean Bungie. You can leave Bungie out of this equation. I just mean in terms of, a standard practice for any, studio that works at a AAA level.
Oh, so there's no budget for high mesh polygons?
Is there a guideline? Like if you go over 3 million, you're basically, you're living the Brad Pitt lifestyle. Or, if you keep it at 900,000, you got something else going.
I think it depends on your computer.
Yeah.
Yes, because if you use like a subdivision to model, you'll get less polygons. But if you use ZBrush, you get really high polygons. So it really depends on your computer. It doesn't matter. There's no budget for the high poly.
Go as high as you can.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, I'm going to interrupt this conversation for a little bit of a review, if you don't mind. This is one of my students, Edison, and this is what he wanted you to take a look at. He did this about 10 minutes ago, so it was a little bit before the boot camp that he's in now. But if you don't mind, if you can kind of just take a look at this, and what I like to ask people is, what is one thing that's working for this, that's going to help him get a job, one or two things? And what's one or two things that as soon as you see them, you're like, no, this is a red flag?
Oh, I think this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
You use Maya, right? Substance printer. Okay.
Yeah.
My suggestion is for ArtStation that you'd like to put your like final image on the top, of course, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I think you can try some softwares that you can help you to get better rendering.
Okay.
Like, yes, this is, I don't know where to run it, but you can try like Keyshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get better resolutions and better qualities on Keyshot, like Octane, such like softwares like that, rendering softwares. It's very popular in the industry.
Totally, yeah. And so what I'm hearing is right off the bat, the things that's not working for you is that the renderer is not quite there. The rendering of it and the presentation of it's not quite there.
Yeah, and also I think that maybe the resolution can be higher, and maybe the textures can be polished more.
Okay. The what? Sorry, can be polished more.
Textures.
The testers?
Yeah, the textures. Yeah.
Okay. And then what is something that you think is really working? Like, what is it about this piece that you think gets him closer to being a candidate for the job that you do?
Firstly, it's a famous IP. It's Transformers. So everyone loves Transformers, right?
Right.
Yeah. You pick the right thing to work on.
Okay.
And that's cool. It's cool. And this is a good progress, I think.
Okay. All right. So if we're looking at these wireframes, is there anything that's a red flag for you? Let's look at the back here.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Because this is high poly, right?
Yep.
It is high poly.
Edison, can you correct us? High poly? He's saying mid poly. His output wasn't games. He was actually 3D printed, if I remember correct. Is that accurate, Edison?
It's 3D printed. My suggestion is if it's a high poly, you don't have to show the wireframe because it's super high.
Yeah.
If it's a low poly and if you want to make it like a game asset, you
just a hobby, okay.
You just make the topology reasonable, you just don't show it.
So this does not represent low res, so don't show it because nobody cares at the mid and high poly. I think that.
So. Yeah. Or you show the fancy high poly.
Yes.
Or the reasonable low poly.
Okay, great. All right. So guys, I got 24 of you, and I'm going to ask you maybe once, maybe another time. I don't know. Anybody else want a review of their work where you're getting somebody's look right at it? Make sure you post that link up. Corinne, thank you.
Yeah, I just mentioned the Keyshot, but I think if you want to in the game industry, you can try some free game engine that it can help you to get better render quality to Unreal.
Yeah.
You can try that.
Yeah.
Or you can try Marmoset 2-back.
Yeah,
Marmoset. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love them. I love the people there too. They're great.
Yeah.
Very, very dedicated. All right, so I've got Corinne and Jose, so let's move forward with that. All right, and then we're going to start getting into questions, so I'll see if there's a chance for you guys to get another Q&A after this. All right, let's take a look. And Jose, is there one work that you want her to see? Remember, I asked for one work. Attention to detail here is really important, guys. One work. First one.
The first one.
All right, talk to me about this, and I'm just going to scroll through, but what do you think is working on this? And again, I'm looking primarily on the hard surface because I know that's your specialty. What do you think is working that makes him a candidate for what you do?
I like the armor.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the armor. I like, did you design this?
Jose? He did, yes.
Oh, yeah, it's great. You designed the own armor. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the arm part, the chest part, they is designed well. Yeah, I think it's good. It looks good. So when I'm looking at this piece, if I am going to hire you, I was wondering that do you want to be like a character artist or hard surface artist? Character artist.
Yeah, okay, great. Character artist or hard surface artist, Jose? He wants to be character.
Character artist. Okay. Yeah. Then there's something that about character like claws, like skin, hair, and they should look as good as, like hard surface armor. If you want to be a character artist, right?
Great.
Because
So he's nailing it on the hard surface, doing good there. And that's great news to hear, Jose, that stuff's excelling quite well. And so if you want to be character, think that through. The other thing to consider, Jose, is, there is some, in fact, actually, let me ask you this, Julie, instead of me just giving you my opinions. How much mobility is there in your perspective for a game artist? And by mobility, I mean, is it possible for somebody to get in at hard surface and then they go into, let's say more organic environments, or they go into character, or does somebody just get stuck in hard surface?
I think from the company's view, when they see your portfolio, they want to know that what are you going to be?
Yes.
Like if they see you like have a tons of like character work, like with good characters, with good like figures, like of even face, like organic and stuff. They know that they want to be a character artist.
Yes.
And if they see you have lots of like robots, like mechanical stuff, they know that you are really into like hard surface. So they know, so they would know what you want to be. So you like just make, enough works for your portfolio.
Yep.
And then you want to show them. You want to show them what you want to be.
Great. Yeah, that's the tough road. All right, now I'm going to test you with your figure and your character stuff, Julia. You down for that? Corinne wants a little bit of feedback on her character, so I'm going to cycle through this and tell me, just in your words, what are some of the things first, because I always like to look at the positive before we talk about it, but I noticed it's hard sometimes, right? So I noticed one of the tendencies for you is to go to this is what could be done better. But tell me first, one of the things that you think is really working in this piece?
I think can I look at the third image? Yeah, this one, the third image, like, I think
sorry, you tell me what. So this is the first, second, and third. Is that the right?
And the third, yeah. I think the proportion looks good. Proportion looks good.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, this is my first, thought about this piece, and then I look at the first and the second, like piece that I think that you can like polish some of your anatomy. Like it's like the face anatomy, like polish some.
Yep.
And also the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
okay.
And
let me go. Yeah.
Just because the body figures very, it's very delicate. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
So if you get a big shape, you need to keep pushing the small shape.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Great. And specifically in the face, I assume. So, and and Corinne, this has come so far. I'm very proud of you in this piece. This has come really far. So I think that the next things for you to consider, I'm just going to throw this out, is go in there and you got to explore some of the skin detailing in terms of getting some pores on her. If you get some pores, it might add that next little level. Now, there's some subtle anatomy to put in there, but I think we need a little bit more pore detailing. And the skin render, you're still grinding on that. Get back over to Magdalena's tutorial. You're real close here.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Let's check out Lance and talk to me about this. So one of the things I have them do, Julia, in the environment bootcamp is I have them create a prop and they have to match a real world prop, not concept. Because we want to, we want to make sure that there's no guesswork or as little guesswork as possible. And they're getting like true materials, not, it's painted to be like a, some fusion alloy in the future kind of deal. It's like, no, it's painted metal. This is how you do it. So what about this piece makes you think that Lance might be a candidate for the job?
I like the texture.
Okay. Texturing's great.
Yeah. I like the texture. I like paint, metal, and also, this more like white text. It looks good enough. I like the texture best.
Okay, great. Absolutely. Now, when you're looking at this, when you're looking at the low res, what do you look at? Do you look at bevels? What is it that you look for to say, okay, he made a mistake or he did this well? Is there any red flags that you can give us that, that just help us understand it?
This is a realistic prop. So I look at the image, I immediately think about the real prop I saw, so I would compare if it's realistic enough or not. So you make the piece and you can, compare, like go between the piece you made and the real prop, real assets. Just you will see if you compare that enough, you would be able to see that.
Right. Got it. Okay. And then is there one or two things that really bug you or that you think people kind of miss a lot when they're doing the full picture, when they're rendering it and doing the materials and texturing? Is there one or two things that you think people make, mistakes people make a lot?
I mean, this piece?
No, just in general, like what would he look out for? So, and if nothing comes to mind, that's fine. But I'm just wondering if there's common mistakes.
I mean, this one's good.
Yeah.
If you want to keep pushing and make more pieces, I think it will be better that if you put all your stuffs together to make a small scene.
Okay, got it.
Not just only one asset.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Because people have more stuff to look at.
Totally.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Okay. Thanks, Julia. So I know we were limited with time with you, but let me ask you a couple more questions. And of course, any NDA stuff, just tell me. We don't have to bother. Something like this Caldari dropship.
Yeah.
Are you given reference? Concept? What are you given?
We had a concept, but we had a concept was rough.
Yeah. By rough, you mean you had to make up a lot of stuff yourself, right?
Yes, and also work with the concept artist.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So he or she fleshes out a rough idea. Then you start working directly with them. And you, at that point, this back and forth, it helps the concept artist because they're just making this stuff up, so do they draw over your 3D?
Some concept artists do, but some don't. They'll just tell you. But also you have to work with the animator first because the back engine, that animations, you have to make them work first.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So then what about the details, the subtle things like the line work and how these things are inset? Is this something that the designer has pretty set for you? How much latitude do you have to do this yourself?
Well, this is so there are 4 races in the game, and this is a Kadari race. So what Kadari means. Kadari, if you work on the project, it just means the stuff they are square. They use lots of square stuff. So when you put details, you don't put like round shapes, round details.
Yes.
But the details you put should match the Kadari. You can put your own style stuffs, but not too much everywhere. Not too much everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you see a part that's missing like details, you can add details, but it should firstly match the Kadari, then not too much.
Okay, I get that. You have like a style sheet or a style guide well in advance.
Oh, sure. Yes. And also not too much details because the final texture resolution is not that high.
Mm-hmm.
It's not high, then if you put too much details, then you won't be able to see it.
Got it. Okay. Well, that makes sense to me. And so now I'll ask you one question that comes up a lot, especially when we're beginning. Is there basically, what do you put in a normal map versus what do you put in geometry? That's a question that comes up a lot. Is there a piece that you have here that could really help us understand like what you put in a normal map? How much can you trust the normal map instead of putting in geometry?
Okay, look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6 piece on the top row.
This one.
Yes, this is This is a low mesh with normal map.
Okay.
So this is the normal map. The normal map with occlusion map.
Okay.
Yes, okay. I didn't put on the low mesh budget. I believe it was not that high. It was not that high, but it was high enough. So actually, if you do a good low mesh, it should present like almost like I would say like at least 95% of the normal map details.
Okay. The low res should present 95% of the normal map details. So these, I don't see a wireframe here. So these pieces here in the chest, these are not, there's no geometry. Is this just straight across?
This is geometry, but it's connected to the body.
Okay. But are you putting wireframes, or are you putting edge loops around these pieces?
For this area, I don't think so, because it's not the area that you need to bend. Bend a lot. But if you put a lot where you, like the waist part, you have to bend a lot, or the arm pit, like you move a lot.
Yeah. Got it. Is there any work that you have where you've got a wireframe visible?
I don't think so.
I see that they're kind of hidden. I'm like,
I don't think so.
She's hiding
this is the high poly.
Okay,
that's the high poly.
Yeah, so let me see. Do I have Photoshop open here? Oh, I do, but good, it's down there. Good. Okay, so let me ask you a question, if you don't mind. If we're looking at this, at your piece here, tell me, is this something that you put in the normal map?
I remember for this weapon.
If you were to do it today, though, is it something that you would just say, hey, the normal map's going to cover that?
Oh, no. I think about, I have to know if I can see that in the first person view.
So if somebody's looking behind it, they might see a little. Yeah.
So, if I don't see it in the first person view, then there's no geometry. If I see it, then, I make geometries.
Right. Okay. All right. And so this piece here, I assume this is easily geometry.
Yes.
But then what about these pieces here?
This is not separate geometry, just, some geometries.
Okay. So just something with a little bit of a lift, but you're not trusting it to get you that.
Yeah. You don't have to put too much geometry on this one.
Okay. Just something with a little height. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to continue this. This sounds like that's probably geo if somebody's looking at it.
Yeah, you can see that on first person view.
Right. What about this piece right here?
This piece, I would make some geometry, because if you look at the first person view, then you won't be able to see the depth You have to see something like from the view.
Yeah.
So I make some.
Great. Okay, so this is interesting because like if this was just an environment, like let's say this was the side of a wall or a hallway, if this was a hallway with some pieces and we see a little bolt there, it's easily a normal map, right? But you got a gun, so you're not looking straight on, you're looking down the barrel of something.
Yeah.
And because you're looking down the barrel, well, even the smallest little piece here, you got to have some depth to it.
Yeah, but that's for like first-person shooter games.
Totally.
If it's not yeah.
Okay, and then so along those lines, this over here, this is great. This is like the whack-a-mole game, like we're saying. Normal map, not a normal map. But these, there's no depth to it, so I assume this would be normal map.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that was really cool. Very enlightening because it was easy. In fact, I didn't even have on my mind that somebody's looking at it through first person. But if I go back to your work, one of the things I see is you're often showing them down the barrel. Like this, it's an extreme 3/4.
Yeah.
And you're looking right down the side of this to kind of see it. So that's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
I was trying to find out the camera view I like.
Okay. All right. And then we got one question from Daniel. Are you concerned with n-gons, with keeping things quads, and with triangles? Like, what is essential? What are some of the important rules for your low res, if any?
I don't think there's much rules for low res. It's only for animation.
Yeah. Great.
It's for animation, but for high poly, I for hard surface, especially if it's a curved hard surface shape, I would rather like don't do like triangles. Like don't put triangles on that. It will have like bump back. But if you use like a ZBrush to model it, then it won't be a big problem.
Okay, got it. I understand that. Okay, and then Johannes is asking, I thought Maya was lacking in hard surface tools since most hard surface artists seem to use Max. Are you using any plugins or is it all classic sub D?
I use Maya for classical sub D, but I'm also trying to use Max these days.
Yeah. So basically, I'm on my way to Max. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've noticed that with a lot of people, especially with smoothing groups, and just some real basic features. Max tends to be friendlier.
Yes, I like smoothing groups.
Yeah,
and wrapping UV is faster in Max.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, and okay, Edison. Let's see, Jan, are you using ZBrush a lot for hard surface?
I currently don't. Not now.
Yep.
But I'm trying to.
Okay. One more image. And it's because Edison's in the boot camp and he's been working his butt off on this one. So this is the reference. And let's get to your... always put the image on top, Edison, because otherwise somebody's going to be like, hey, that's a damn good phone. What? You lied to me. Now they're looking. All right. So I like what you... I'll shut my mouth and let Julia talk. So, Julie, what do you think about this? What do you think's working, and what do you think's not working about this piece?
I like this one. It feels like realistic. I like this one.
Great.
I think you have enough details. Yeah. Just personal like suggestions that you can like. Just like what I said before, just personal that you can make more stuff, putting them together, make it a small scene that not only showing one asset. That would be more impressive.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, and
and also consider about the background.
Okay, I love what you were talking about, which is start putting some design in there.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and because you've got a simple background here, but I'm assuming that's something that you've started to hear. And it's something we know because Alex Senenschall's taught a class. He used to be at Bungie, if I remember correctly. And Alex Senenschall's a big one on backgrounds and graphics and really jazzing it up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, yes, it's true.
Okay.
But I like this one.
Great.
I like this one that has some subtle like dirt.
Yeah. Did a good job here, huh?
Yeah. Here, yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One thing that you think is not working, like if he only had 2 hours, anything he could change that you think would just like make this, miles better?
2 hours, maybe like polish the whole image, like polish background. This is my opinion because the asset is good enough.
Great.
Uh-huh.
There you go, Edison. I don't have to tell you it's done. She's told you it's done. All right. So I see you, Edison. I think, do I see you Thursday night? And if I do, then how about a background? Deal? Okay.
Or maybe you can even put like a book, because you put different things together and the different things have different materials.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Like, yeah, like you have a rope, you have metal, you have a paper, and maybe desk is wood. So people will know that you can do like good textures for different materials.
She just added 4 weeks to your project, Edison. All right. Okay. Okay. A couple last questions, and then we'll get you out of here. Thank you so much for taking time and for being here and for reviewing people's work, Julia. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you too.
And you've done a great job of explaining concepts and things like that. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. So last question. What do you think, like if you were starting over and you were back in school today, what would you focus on knowing what you know now? Like what would you focus on to give yourself a better chance at scoring Bungie even earlier?
I mean, maybe not only Bungie, I mean, for the game industry. Like,
sure.
I am a hard surface artist, but I also like love like characters. So I would like do more like real, like character work. I mean, real is not only 3D, maybe real sculpting. Yeah. Sculpting, and also I would love to like learn more about design.
Okay. Got it. Great. So focus on design and really get in and make sure you're understanding the questions of like skin and those problems that character artists have to deal with. Yeah,
and also if you like if you I like robots, maybe I would make real robot asset, real ones just for fun. But that would help. That would help some.
Yep, that's awesome. All right, Julia, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you too. You're welcome. It's very good to talk to you guys.
Yeah, great to talk to you. All right, so those of you guys, I will post this, or probably more likely Susan will post this on the Guild. And once it's posted, guys, let me know one thing that you really learned from this, one thing that really stood out that you think was important. And then if you want to find Julia, you're looking at her ArtStation right now. It's Julia Dream at ArtStation, or however they do that. It's ArtStation/Julia Dream. And for those of you guys who are in the boot camp at 1 or 2, so I'll just see you guys at 2, right in there. So you get a 10-minute break, and we'll go from there. Julia, again, thanks so much.
Thank you. And if you guys have any questions, you can let me know.
She just opened up the floodgate. All right, head to the About page. You know how to find her. All right, Julia, take care of yourself.
Okay, have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So I want to thank you so much for being here, for taking the time, and for listening to this podcast. And I want to ask a couple of things from you. Number one, make sure you leave a comment or you rate this on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever it is that you're getting this. That's going to make a big difference in helping us get the word out and get people to know who we are. All right. The other thing is I want to make sure you know where to find us. So you can head over to www.gameartinstitute.com, where you can learn about our flagship program, which is the Game Artist Bootcamp. This is designed for those who are really looking to move the needle on their career and really lock in that job. You may have gone to school and learned a bunch, maybe haven't learned a bunch. But at the Game Art Institute, the primary focus we have is the very specific industry skills the triggers that you really need to hit in that job interview. What are the specific things that they're looking for? That's what we're going to be training you on. We're taking applications right now for environment artists and for character artists. So make sure you head over to www.gameartinstitute.com and apply today. That way we can have that conversation, make sure this is a fit for you, make sure that you're a fit for it, and if everything is perfect, then we will sign you up for that right away and get you into your training and start moving the needle on your career. All right? Thank you so much again for being here. Take care. Have an amazing day.